Right, finally. Thank you for waiting. Appreciate the suspense building. I'm trying not to let you guys down. Firstly, thanks again for braving the cold. It seems like we've dropped like 10 degrees in London over the last few days. So any of you came yesterday as well, well done for making 2 days in a row. I know it's a tough ask doing these days. I know, doing back-to-back. Harder for us than it is for you, I think. We're going to spend some time today talking about how, I think something we're all interested in, and I think it's an obvious topic also, how we can use some really simple tools, but new innovations of simple tools to create a seamless journey in our customer experiences. My name's Chris, I work for 8x8. For those of you who are unfamiliar with 8x8, we are a communications platform organisation, much like everybody here. We specialise in UCaaS, CCaaS and CPaas all in one place, which is not like anyone else here. So after today's conversation, if you want to learn more, pop by to the stand and someone will talk you through some of the options we've got available to you. So we're in a world now where it doesn't matter what vertical you're working in, whether it's business to business or business to consumer, competition's super tight. Things are all looking very similar. Look around you today, it's all looks and feels the same, kind of the same price, does the same stuff. It's really tough to set yourself apart and differentiate from the competitors. So we're seeing that people are deciding who they work with based on the experiences they get through that initial buy-in cycle. 74% of people, in fact, are stating it's one of the number one things they use to determine who they go with when picking suppliers or organisations to work with. But it's getting harder to focus and give seamless customer experiences. Because 73% of interactions go through multiple channels. How many of you have started a conversation by filling in a form, maybe you're talking to a chatbot, maybe then speaking to a human agent through the chat as well, answering the same questions, repeating yourself, identifying yourself again. It's not succinct, it's not a good experience. And every time you transition through a channel, you have to go through that again. And our job collectively is to work out how do we streamline that and break down those frictions. Because you only really get 2.5 opportunities to do a good job. On average, people decide to leave the people they're working with after 2.4 bad experiences. So you don't get many options to give a bad experience before you lose that customer for good. So the things we want to focus on is how can we work together to elevate your customer experiences, create personalised interactions across all touch points, not just the first touch point, and then maximise your operational efficiencies. By streamlining the tools you're using and bringing them together, you reduce the burden on the people managing those tools, and you empower the workforce to spend time working with the customers on more interesting, more complex topics. So I'm going to spend some time now looking at something which has somewhat been forgotten, but that's the messaging side of the customer experience platform. We are seeing some innovations in the messaging side of the tools we use. We work with the CPaas Acceleration Alliance as well as Metrigy to just figure out what's going on, what is the state of the messaging world in the market at the moment. And some of these figures they're quite shocking really. 6.5 billion unique mobile numbers, mobile phones being used globally. We also know that on average in the UK and in the US, we touch our phones on average 12 times a day. I also know that the response rate on email is around 4%, but for SMS and messaging apps it's 20%. It's an underutilised tool to get your message out. With the adoption and the advancement of RCS, so that's rich media through your SMS gateways, that's the ability to send videos, pictures, interactive responses, just like in WhatsApp, but in the SMS on one device. The forecast is that that's going to take over 80% of the market share of messaging over the next few years. And almost 70% of people we spoke to are looking at how they can proactively use messaging in their outreach programs. So voice is still king, and I think that SMS is still a critical part of how customer experience engagement is utilised, but RCS is on the rise and it's really going to take over. So this here probably looks quite familiar. We all had one of these. We all had a text message from a retailer we work with an option, with an offer or a promotion, Domino's Pizza perhaps, maybe. you can't respond, you can't interact, it's just a single message. Now this message goes to the same handset, the same phone number, through the same vertical, but this is RCS. Hyper-personalised, multiple options, suggestive next steps, and two-way interactive, tied into the contact centre. Now, 8x8 are the only provider that can provide integrated RCS inside the contact centre at the moment. So, go and see us. If you can bring RCS alongside your strategy for communicating with your outreach programs, you're going to get greater personalisation, a much higher response rate and therefore return on your investment. Better insights. You can't really report an SMS. Deliveries, yes. Failures, yes. But with RCS, click-throughs, responses, which picture they clicked on, you can learn the customer's behaviours, then tailor how you market them in the future. And then the end-to-end encryption security that you get with WhatsApp. There's some use cases, some of these might ring true to you guys, depending on which departments you work in. The operations team. The two-way integrations to your tools. Suggestive next steps and actions by plugging in your bot services. Verified user ID, so no phone number, verified for you, your livery, your branding, prevents fraud, brand awareness. Automated workflows into the contact center or the ERP system, all through the mobile device without touching anyone in your contact center or your back office team. Finance teams, chasing invoices on email, which we now know only 4% open rates. You can do the same program through RCS, through the mobile device. You can even plug in an option for them to pay immediately using a PCI compliant gateway. And of course, the two-way interactions, but I mean, your finance team probably used to say, just pay faster. So maybe we don't want the finance team having two-way chats on the phone. HR teams. I didn't want to put a thing up here to say you've been called for HR meetings and gets fired, so we put a nice one up. But yeah, the TA team, talent acquisition guys, job offers, job applications, updates on where it's going. Again, plugging into your applications in the back end. These rich media attachments means you can actively canvas new employees faster and get a better response rate, as we said before, is much sharper than email. And then your IT teams, immediate information, real-time updates for service outages or IT updates, one-time passwords, multi-factor authentication. So it really is unlocking that next generation of communications and customer engagement. And it seems daft because SMS has been around for such a long time. It's taken so long for us to further advance that. Yet your rich media through RCS, images, videos, carousels, drop-downs, interactive buttons. The verified sender ID to prevent fraud, build brand awareness. A two-way chat in real time. Actionable insights. They can book, they can purchase. If they want to buy a bike, it might suggest next, hey, what about this helmet? What about this water bottle? All through RCS at the same time. The brand presence for your livery and your logos. And it's ultra secure. We estimate that 2.1 billion users will be switching to RCS over the next 5 years. You can turn it on, anyone's got an updated iPhone. If you're on Android, get out. But you can switch on RCS on your Apple phones. Almost 80% of organizations believe that RCS will form a critical part of their strategy for customer experience. So if it's new to you guys, ask a little bit more about it, see how it can help you guys.
Customers expect quick, seamless communication on their mobile devices. With 8x8's RCS, businesses can deliver rich, personalized messages that go beyond basic text. With 8x8's API, businesses can send rich messages with text, images, videos, and carousels, grabbing customer attention and boosting response rates. For example, a customer interested in a car gets a video promo, followed by an invite to the showroom. The customer confirms their interest in visiting and selects a preferred date and time. Immediately, the appointment is confirmed and a confirmation is sent to the customer. When a more personalized touch is needed, inbound RCS messages seamlessly route to 8x8's contact center, ensuring the right agent is available to assist. Now, agents and customers can seamlessly share text, images, and videos, making conversations smoother and resolutions faster. This feature helps businesses create richer, more personalized experiences that drive customer loyalty. With 8x8 and RCS, the future of messaging is here.
I mean, in hindsight, guys, I could have just played you that and not said anything, right? It would have been easier for all of you, I think. So let's switch gears very slightly into security. I know that's not the most exciting topic, but I think it's something which we should touch upon. We've probably all used one-time passwords at some point, either personally or for our business applications. But authentication is going beyond those one-time passwords now. We're introducing silent authentication at the carrier level to add more security, but also to make it slicker and more frictionless for the end user. It's estimated that by the back end of 2029, there'll be a 50% reduction in one-time password usage through SMS. At the same time, IT guys are still increasing their investment in cybersecurity. So where are they putting those pounds, shillings, and pence? It's the advancement of AI security tools that we need looking into. Now, I've managed to get through quite a long way without using AI, so I think I've just failed on bingo there. But we are introducing AI tools to further advance that security to limit access and fraudulent access to your tools. The traditional SMS does have limitations for the multi-factor authentication and in those layers. But there's more intelligence that we can introduce and help you secure your tools and secure your guys who are accessing those platforms. This is an example of what it might look like for your silent authentication. So one-time password comes through. You verify the number for the device, give it permission to access your IP and your data network, connects, success. That's the only time the end user has to verify themselves when connecting to the portal that you've connected to. So it's a true frictionless customer experience. Again, we're working on the whole customer journey. As little touch points as possible. More secure than OTP, much faster verification, and even better for everyone else, and lower operating costs. You're only sending one message. You're not sending a message every time they access the platform, it's just once. After that, then at the carrier level, so you cut down your operational costs dramatically. It's all based on network mobile validation. Sits in the background, nothing you need to touch, nothing you need to do, nothing you need to worry about. No code to intercept at the network level or spoofing to ultra secure. And again, just further enhancing the customer experience and reducing those touch points. So, do you have these final thoughts? Those of you old enough to remember that phrase? Thanks. That one almost died on that one. Customers don't want more, they don't want less, they just want better. They want us to be 10 steps ahead of where they are. Expectations have increased dramatically of how we interact with them across all verticals. They want to be effortless. They want to be met where they want to be met. They want to communicate on tools that they're used to communicating on, and they want it to feel where they're comfortable. They're the elevated experiences they expect. Your mobile device is the thing that everyone's glued to. The more we can action through there, the better the experience for the customer. And that provides that convenient engagement. I talked a moment ago about meeting them where they want to be met at the times they want to be met. We're all working 9 till 7, and so are they. So they can't contact us at the times that they're working like we are. So we need to provide them tools where they have access to communicating with us when it's convenient for them, and not feel like it's an out-of-hours service. And that seamless journey. Every time you transition through a channel, there's an opportunity for your customer to drop off, get a bad experience, you get 2.5 of those, and the customer's gone for good. The more we can make it seamless, the more we can make it frictionless, the more we can make it seem like it's one process all the way through, the better the experience, the more likelihood your customer retains, the better chance of upselling and cross-selling, and everyone makes more money. If If you'd like to learn more about some of the things we talked about today, if any of these tools and products seem like they're new to you guys, or you explore them elsewhere, please go and see the team. There's a bunch of guys over there way smarter than I am who can talk to you more about what 8x8 has to offer, and RCS and some of the values around messaging. On that, I thank you for your time.